thought that was an interesting article, Matthew.
Yes,
It was.
I did.
Okay, good morning everybody. Can we haven't any apologies for absence, we're all here. Can we approve the minutes of the meeting on the 13th of February?
Agreed.
Okay, thank you. I haven't got any announcements, but can I just welcome our interim Chief Exec, Tony Reeves, who's here. Some of you will remember him, some of you won't, but I think we're all going to meet later, Tony, so the ones who you don't know, you'll meet later. Thank you. Okay, with no urgent items, and I'll draw your attention to item 5, exclusion of public and press, but I don't think there's anything that we're going to exclude you from. And I'll draw your attention to members' declaration of interest. Okay, key decision reports. Jack, Welbeck Country Park.
Thank you, Leader. I'm delighted to be bringing this report to Cabinet this morning to commence Phase 1 works on the new country park at Welbeck. This has been a long road for everyone concerned, but our commitment to the site's future as a green space for nature is crystal clear. As well as creating a beautiful new green space, for me this is about keeping faith with our residents and honouring long-standing commitments. While we all await the outcome of the planning inspector's decision for the rest of the site, what we can do is commence work on what we've already had returned to us. And you can see by comparing the maps on agenda pages 15 and 16 that this is about a third to 40% of the site area. Phase 1 therefore is about the green space itself and will see £275,000 of capital injected to start the process of country park creation. As well as that part of the site will move into our country park team for management as with any other country park. This also aligns very closely with results of our recent public consultation on the site's future, which can be found on agenda page 9, and we had over 600 responses from members of the public. Phase 1 will see new circular walking trails, the creation of new woodland, the creation of new grassland and wildflower meadows, expansion of existing trails and linking up others, areas for watching wildlife like bird hides, notice and information boards, as well as the creation of a friends group for the site. And of course we will continue to work with Welbeck Waste Management to ensure they'll fulfil their part of the whole site restoration. I was up there myself a few weeks ago, and in some areas restoration and naturalisation is already well underway, with beautiful areas of woodland and stunning views over the Calder. With a little help, I believe this site can become a must-visit destination for walking and cycling and provide a 200-hectare green lung for the people of Wakefield, Stanley, Altofts and Normanton. The recommendations today set out on page 11 and option 1 to implement a phased approach, with phase 1 starting immediately, is recommended. I hope colleagues will agree today to support this important step forwards and realise a greener future for Welbeck. Thank you, Leader.
Thanks, Jack. And before I bring anybody else in, I think real great progress. I mean, we decided 4 years ago now that this is what we were going to do. It was your flagship and it's come to fruition. So it's really good news. Any more comments from anyone? Maureen?
Yeah, I think this has been a long, long time coming, and I hope the people of Wakefield actually welcome the progress that has been made by Jack over the last few years. I know he's been very tenacious about this, but it has been a long time coming, Leader, and I welcome the initiative.
Anyone else? Okay. Michael? Oh, sorry, Matthew.
Thank you, yes. I think those who represent communities in the shadow of Welbeck really do welcome it. You can't think probably 25 years ago when it was no to toxic dip how far we've come on with this, and it's such a positive. All the things you... Anyway, the announcement you've made there, I mean, you look around the district, Jack, the country parks that we have, and especially what we've got in our ward, we've lost our colliery, you know, that makes such a difference to people's lives, to the district, so really welcome this.
Michael?
I'm scared to turn my hand on now, I'm just going to speak really loudly. I've, as well as everyone else, I've met some of the people who live in this area, and I remember attending a meeting once where, oh God, I feel like I can't talk. I don't know what quick on that is. I remember attending a meeting once where people were talking about how long they've been fighting this for and how long they've been trying to get it turned into something better rather than a smelly eyesore. And I think what really touched me was when people said you know, I don't think I'm going to be around for me to see this, but I hope my grandkids will. And thanks to Jack and thanks to the decision made in this council, it's going to happen. So hats off to you. It's a fantastic achievement, and I'm got me full support behind it.
Thanks, everyone. Can we agree the report?
Agreed.
Okay, thank you. And then item 8, Jack, creating a district-wide net zero partnership.
Thank you, Leader. Hopefully the mic problems won't beset me this time either. But so we all know the council's made strong commitments towards a greener future.
Oh,
Should we try without the mic? So.
Can I just ask, yes, I think it's coming from the microphones that are on the desk. So
Yeah.
can I ask everybody to turn the microphone on the desk on?
Oh, you mean these
Keep
ones?
your mic on.
Yeah.
You turn it off.
I'll try again. Hopefully you can hear me now. Yeah, so thank you. We all know the Council's commitment to a greener future, which is seen as recognised as a global A-list authority for climate action with our net zero target of 2030. But part of our role is also in shaping and influence the place beyond what the Council can control in terms of our businesses, our residents, our community groups across the Wakefield district. So this is what the report before you today is seeking to do. Les, I think your microphone's there. Yeah, I think yours is still on these.
Is it? No, it wasn't. It's off.
It's on there. Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you. Third time lucky. I'll see if we can try with that technical problem. So, as I was saying, so the council's role is not just what we can do about our own corporate emissions. We know they're just a small part of the impact on the district. This is about helping businesses and community groups and people right across the Wakefield district to decarbonise and move towards a greener future. So this is what the report before you today is seeking to do. We're looking to formalise a net zero partnership for our district. And for more than a year now, since our first climate summit at Talyard, work has been going on with organisations in a range of sectors to build up this partnership. I'm really pleased that we've already had so many businesses and organisations involved already, with 391 individuals representing 269 organisations taking part in meetings and discussions over the last year. By formalising the partnership today, the Council will look to facilitate coordination on the following key themes: transportation, housing and buildings, industry and power, land and agriculture and waste, and also a just transition, which is so important we get right, as we know in our communities what an unjust transition looks like with the 80s and the miners' strike and what happened in the Thatcher government. So we want to get this right. We want to work in partnership with all our communities, and we're going to harness the expertise, talent and ambition of people across our district to help realise that greener future. So the options for the partnership are set out on agenda page 19, and option 1 to establish the partnership is recommended to ensure we have the right organisation in place to achieve net zero as a district by 2038. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. Any comments? Margaret?
Yes, thank you, Jack. Fully support this. And I think it's going to help greatly the decision of the West Yorkshire Mayor regarding the bus franchises to get people out of the cars. And this is what concerns me. We have an awful lot of cars on roads. Part of the report is that you want to reduce the building of roads as we go forward. Will you be working with developers to formulate plans to encourage people to leave the car at home and actually walk, cycle or take the public transport?
It's a good question, Margaret. Thank you, and fully support your comments in terms of the bus franchise, and I think that's a massive step forward for West Yorkshire. We know people are being let down at the moment, but also the environment's being let down. If we have a better public transport network, then more people will be out of the car and using buses to get to work and for leisure, which will reduce the impact on the environment. So I fully agree with that. In terms of developers, yes, we will be working closely with developers. I know some are involved with the partnership, but it would be good in terms of individual developments to encourage more cycling, more easy access to public transport. I know that's factored into a degree already, but we'd certainly like to see more of that coordination going forward, and we'll be looking to achieve that. Thank you.
Maureen?
Yeah, I welcome the report as well, and I going on to what Margaret said about the bus franchising, I was in a position last week where I'm attached to a car, and actually it went in for some work's doing on it, and I went for the bus and the bus missed. But, you know, hopefully, if we can work alongside the West Yorkshire Mayor for the bus franchising to encourage people to catch buses or cycle. You wouldn't get me on a cycle, but I'd be more than willing to catch a bus if the buses were regulated correctly and they were regulated for people rather than profit.
Matthew.
Yeah, I mean, a fit-for-purpose public transport and net zero go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other, really. We have no alternative in some locations in this district whatsoever. Some of our rural areas where we know we haven't got a fit-for-purpose bus service. So the announcement from the Where, the work that you're doing, Jack, it goes hand in hand. It's something we need to continue to make sure that we have got that fit-for-purpose bus service within West Yorkshire.
Les.
I think it's needed. I think, but it is needed alongside the public access to buses on that side of it. Just recently, I had to go to Leeds from Airedale, and as part of going from Airedale to Leeds, I was recommended that I went on the public transport. There's no way I could get to Leeds for 9:30 on a morning from Airedale. I couldn't even get to Cass from Airedale for 9:30 on a morning. And I think it needs to, everything you're doing, I fully support, but I think the real key is around public transport. Sustainable and reliable public transport, so people can turn up at bus stops and they can get to where they need to go. And I think this is the start, but I fully support it and I think it should be pushed through, and I think we should keep at it until we get to that position.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, can we agree the report?
Agreed.
Thank you. Maureen, introduction of the financial management function to protect and sustain vital services.
Yeah, thank you. This is to seek approval for the introduction of a fee for the provision of financial support and management functions for users of services personal income to protect and sustain vital services. We'd like to introduce a £5 fee to look after the finances of those people who are unable to do so, to keep them from risk of any personal finances, from personal finance abuse. I think you'll see under 3.1 that other authorities currently charge a fee of between £3 and £15. The fee will be covered by the income that the person gets, so it isn't something that they're going to lose. It is covered by the income that they actually receive. We've never charged for the service, but we have provided the service, and what we would like to do is to introduce this fee from April of this year to all current users and any new users to the service, and any income generated from that will be put back into the service to ensure that we can that those people who are vulnerable receive a really good service. So I'm looking at option 3, which is outlined at 3.1 in the paper, and that is the introduction of a £5 fee.
Okay, thank you, Maureen. Any comments? Okay, can we agree the report? Thank you. And then you're on again, Maureen, connecting care.
Yeah, this is asking for Cabinet's approval for the continuation of the involvement of Age UK and the Carers Association in our Connecting Care programme. Again, the voluntary sector are key to some of the things that we actually deliver in the council, and Age UK and the Carers Association support those vulnerable people who are referred to our hubs with their personal stuff and help and support them. The good news is that this is totally funded by the Independent Care Board and not by the council. And I just have to say that since our partnership with the NHS and the introduction of the Better Care Fund, this is what that partnership has brought to us. It's brought the fact that we work together, we get funding from the NHS to offer this additional support to those people who need that additional support, whether they're in healthcare or whether they're on the cusp of healthcare. but they work in our hubs, our connecting care hubs, along with other staff, council, adults, care staff, NHS staff, and they offer that help and support to those people. So I'm seeking approval for the continuation of the service.
Thank you very much, Maureen. Any comments from anyone? Margaret?
I fully agree with this, Maureen. Carers play such an important role, not only in your service, but in the service I cover. So there's no way I could disagree with what you're proposing today.
I think carers across our district, we have so many, particularly unpaid carers, but the Carers Association do work with all known carers, and we do actually do presentations around. You don't know, sometimes you don't know you're a carer, but yeah, Age UK and the Carers Association are fantastic voluntary organisations, and the NHS and us I don't know where we'd be without them. Yeah. And as I say, the plus to this is that we're not funding it, it's the ICB.
It's always good to hear. Can we agree the report? Okay, thank you. Matthew, compensation on the Eastern Relief Rate.
Yeah, thank you, Denise. This morning I'm asking for approval to relocate 3.4 million into the capital programme to cover the compensation payments under Part 1 of the Land Compensation Act 1973 for the opening of the Wakefield Eastern Relief Road, to seek approval for the acceptance of £300,000 from the developer consortium towards the compensation payments and the injection of that £300,000 into the capital programme, to note that the additional cost of the Part 1 claims will be sought from the West Yorkshire Mayoral Combined Authority as a change request under existing governance arrangements, and to give authority to the Chief Finance Officer to accept such funding. So I'm asking for approval, option 1 at 4.1 on page 139.
Thank you. Any comments? I think it needs to be made clear about the compensation, and could you just give us a bit more detail on that, Matthew?
So yeah, so the compensation currently will be sought from the Highways budget, and then it will be paid back from the Combined Authority. So rest assured that no Wakefield taxpayers' money is going into this. It's money that's sought from that we get from the Department of Transport, and then we'll claim that back from the Combined Authority. As we know, the Wakefield Eastern Relief Road was part of the LDF back in 2012. It was always going to be built. It was going to be built in stages by 106 contributions. That was the way it was going to be built, and it would have taken a long time to do that. Fortunately, in 2014, the Combined Authority came on board, asking for plans for new roads, for new developments. We was there with our scheme for the Wakefield Eastern Relief Road, so we was given this £37 million to build it, doing what we should always try and do best, put the infrastructure in place first, and then get the houses built. At the end of the day, this road has fetched much needed housing, jobs, and it keeps, at the end of the day, it does fetch council tax into this authority year on, year out, and it will do that for many more years to come. So it is a cost, but I think it has been a worthwhile cost as well for building up that new road.
Yeah, I think it has. I just wanted you to make it clear that the money is coming from the Combined Authority. And of course, the City Field has brought massive investment into this district, as you've just pointed out.
And just to point out, we're not alone in this. You know, there's other schemes as well around West Yorkshire, bigger schemes than this one as well.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Matthew. Can we agree the report? Thank you. Les, delivering the housing growth at City Fields.
Yeah, that's
following
sort of
on,
extension, following on from that side of it. One of the certainly biggest problems I'm finding, certainly in my ward, and I know everybody in other wards, housing. We need to build more houses, we need to make sure that we build them and we build them quickly. What this report does is it extends that, and under 2.1 it's to approve the freehold disposal of 13.76 acre parcel of land at City Fields. I think it's important because it will deliver 135 houses and it will deliver them quickly, as well as giving a receipt into this council. So I'm certainly looking for approval under option 1 on page 145 for this to go ahead.
Everybody happy with that? I think it's welcome news, and we need to crack on with that. Can we agree the report? Okay, thank you. Item 13 is the level devolution framework. I really am pleased to share an update with you regarding and outlining level 4 devolution and the approach being taken across West Yorkshire to consider whether a step forward towards further devolution is the right step for us. Before I outline any more, I need to reiterate, taking action now could lead to the district benefiting sooner if there is an agreed positive step to be had towards devolution, particularly any fiscal opportunities arising from the next multi-year settlement. So what's on offer for this framework? Funding simplification, further devolution of adult skills, more local leadership around affordable homes, and a range of additional functions in relation to transport. More details of this are in the report. What is clear is that there is no more new money. There's also no single financial settlement. However, it is a stepping stone towards a single settlement at the next multi-year spending review. Whilst myself and fellow leaders in West Yorkshire made an initial application to government, this only commits us to a conversation, to understand the implications and opportunities. It is not binding. Therefore, we shall carry on having the discussions, but we shall have to take this into real consideration of whether it is right for this council. And as I say, other councils in West Yorkshire will be doing the same. And I know it's been subject of the scrutiny committees at the Combined Authority, and I think other councils are all have the same concerns as us of whether it is right for them. So we've a long way to go on this, but this is a step forward to look at it. But as I say, I reiterate, it's not binding. So any questions, Jack?
Thanks, Denise. Just a comment really to fully support your approach. I think we need to make sure this is the right devolution deal for Wakefield. We know people in Wakefield in the past have been sceptical over the role of the mayor. I think Tracy's shown some good progress on what she's doing around transport in particular. But at the same time, we need to make sure devolution is right. If it offers money, powers, opportunities that will benefit Wakefield, fair enough. But also we need to have the confidence of our convictions if it's not right at that point to say no. So support exploring it further. But at the same time, I think you're quite right. We still have the right, and it's clear under 312 of the attached report, that there's still the need for individual authorities to consent to this. So it's in no way binding at this point.
Yeah, I think we need to make that plain. Matthew?
Yeah, just following on from that, whenever we've looked at devolution, going for a combined authority, going for a mayoral combined authority, it's always included additional funding. And the point that there's not really no additional funding coming with this is concern that we're taking on more responsibility. For me, devolution is fetching powers from government down locally to regionally. I have concerns that this could be taking powers locally from the 5 West Yorkshire authorities up a stage into the combined authority. So that is something I have concerns about. I think we do need to be cautious. We need to be working with partners in the 5 districts to see if we do go for this. It needs to be the best deal for West Yorkshire, that we're all benefiting from this. So I think the cautious approach is the right way to go at the moment.
Michael?
Yeah, I completely agree with what Matthew said. If it's going to benefit our residents, it's going to make their lives better, then I'll be all for it. So I'm so glad that we're exploring this. But if it's going to be taking powers away from this council, away from people, further away, that is the complete opposite of devolution, and I don't think that's suitable for this district. So let's see what comes out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just to add to what Michael said, but I think it's important. We keep using the word because it's their devolution. It depends. It's not about devolution, it's about decision making. And how far down the decisions are made. And if this council are given the authority to make those decisions, they're taken away into a bigger area, then I would never vote for that sort of devolution. We should always be able to make decisions for this local area. And if that is where it goes, then I put my hand up. But I think you're doing the right thing, Leader. I really do believe you're doing the right thing, being cautious about this. And I think we've a long way to go before we get anywhere near the devolution that they're talking about.
Yeah, I think we were very cautious originally with the first Devo deal. As you know, Wakefield residents didn't want to go down that road at all. but we were persuaded in the end to do that because of the money and the funding that was coming in. This time there's no funding, and I do worry, as colleagues have said, about taking powers away from this district. That's the last thing we want. And I think other authorities across West Yorkshire are thinking the same. You know, we've got a government and then we've got the combined authority, and sometimes it feels as if, you know, we're having to work with taking, I'm spreading my words here, be careful what I say, but, you know, we don't want to be fighting on all fronts, getting stuff for Wakefield. It's important that we look after our district. Maureen, did you want to come in? I thought you put your hand up. Anybody else? Okay. Can you agree the report?
Yep, agree.
Okay, thanks very much. Okay, financial health report. The purpose of this report is to inform Cabinet of the financial health of the authority's revenue budget. As you know, there is an overspend at the moment of 3.8 million, an increase of 0.4 million to the previously reported in total. The overspend equates to 1.4% of the net budget and will be funded from reserves. Most of it is set out in the report. So are there any questions? We are okay with that? Thanks very much. And then the last item is the vital signs performance report. It's important that we manage our performance and use our resources efficiently. Well, we all know that. And we're working hard to do that with our plans and to deliver against our priorities to provide value for money to our residents and businesses. And you'll see from the report how we set out how we manage and monitor our performance through our performance management framework. And we've really made quite a lot of positive progress in some areas. However, I want to highlight again that these are challenging times and we're facing significant budget pressures, increasing demand and cost of living crisis. Would any colleague like to highlight things in their area? Maureen?
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank Jackie. I mean, she focuses our minds on not just the good stuff that we're doing, but the stuff that we should be actually looking at.
Yes, she does.
And I just want to say that within my own area, we know that the housing needs service and homelessness is on the increase, certainly in Wakefield, and we need to be doing something about that. But I want to point out that, the council has some, and its partners have some absolutely super welfare provision in place to help those people who are vulnerable. However, we're in a state of flux at the moment. We've just got the household support fund, but it's only going to last us until September. We need to be pressurising either this government, God help us if they're getting again, or the next government, which hopefully will be our government, and we need to be pressurising them to actually continue to help support those people who need welfare provision. As I say, homelessness is on the increase daily. People are being thrown out of their homes, they're losing their tenancies, etc. So we need to be pressurising whichever government to give us more funding to help those people who are struggling. But I just want to thank Jackie for putting the report together and focusing in our minds on what, not just the good things, and we need to celebrate those, but the things that we need to look at and we need to monitor.
Yeah, she's got right, Matthew.
When we look at the state of the district's highways, and we said a couple of months ago when we put through the capital programme, we don't have nowhere near enough of the money that we need. We need 6 times more than what we actually put in this year, and that's coming out in the report, obviously, with the number of complaints that are higher than it was this time of year by 10%, and the Wakefield Express are in their own story, thank you for that, Tony, about the condition of where the worst roads are, which are matching up with actually what we do know. It's just about getting around there and not having the resources and the money to fund them, but the national picture and the local picture is what we know already.
Thank you. Anybody else like?
Yeah, I think it's nice when you look at this report, and Jackie does give an absolutely fantastic report. There's no, there's nothing hidden, everything's there for us, but I think there's 2 things for me. One is I've seen that many reports where you look at the good things. I do, and I know people around this tech, I'm looking for where we need to improve. And I think we're always doing that, and we're always doing that as a council. What this report does on a regular basis is give us the choice to actually focus in on those things. And that makes us better. It makes us look at the things that we need to look at. It's nice to celebrate the other ones as well, and we all do, let's face it. But that's what's good about it. No punches pulled. It's all there, it's all in black and white, and we know what we have to work on, and we do.
Thank you for that, Len. Michael?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think what this report shows, and the great work of officers, is that we are a council that are not just listening to people, whether that be on the doorsteps, whether that be on social media. We're constantly listening to what people want and to what the issues are. But we're also looking at the data as well, and like Les said, nothing's hidden. We're not trying to cover up anything, it's all here in black and white. What are we doing well, and what can we improve on? And we're putting things in place to get there. So welcome the report. It's making it really clear for me in my area where the improvements have been and what we've still got to do. So very useful, and yeah, long may we continue.
Okay. Well, thanks very much all of you for your comments and updates. Can we note the performance against the vital signs indicators and the actions being taken to improve performance? And can we recommend this report is submitted to the Overview and Scrutiny Management Board for consideration and further examination if appropriate?
Yep.
Can we agree that?
Agreed.
Thanks very much for your time.